Hey everyone, it's your girl Fatima, all the way from the Gambia. I hope all are doing well. Hey, I came across this video, you all, and I wanted to definitely share this information with you because I want to make sure that everybody understand what is going on. And I'm praying that everybody have their house in order. I'm praying that everyone has their passport. This is not for fear mongering. This is just to let you all know there's something going on and y'all need to be aware. But before we get started, I wanted you all to know if you want to support me, please be sure to visit me at my website, www.blackwomennetworking.com, where I have a couple of journals that you can support by purchasing, and also the African activity book that I have for the children. And also, if you're ready for any kind of consultation for maybe moving or even just visiting here in Gambia or even in Ghana, because we have connections in Ghana as well, join me for a consultation. The information is out there on my website, theafricanconnect.com. Again, theafricanconnect.com. So be sure to join me, you all. Okay, now back to the subject at hand. If you hear any background noise, yes, it's probably my little grandbaby crying in the background, but forgive me for that. But yeah, let me show you this video of this gentleman who his name is Steve Ram, giving him credit. And he just stated some information about U.S. officials ready for attack on U.S. soil from Iran. So in other words, y'all, there's another player in this game of foolishness. So, but we all know the truth. And just remember, you all, the news is going to push you towards a certain narrative. They're going to want you to seem like there's a certain group who they're supporting is just so innocent in this. And that is not the case. And we know that. Okay. So listen to this, you all.
Regarding the FBI and Congress's warnings on this. This is saying, and this is going to be very interesting here, the attacks that they're suggesting are going to be on the way are not what I think a lot of people are expecting. U.S. officials hold their breath for an Iranian cyber attack on critical infrastructures. What they're saying is that the U.S. needs to keep an eye on our water supply and our electricity. They believe that terrorists here could be ready to strike our infrastructure systems and try to take out our ability to function as a society. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, we've already seen all sorts of attacks taking place. I let you know, we heard yesterday from the FBI that here in Houston, in Texas, that just last week, they stopped a terrorist that had a bomb and they believe was getting ready to detonate an attack here in Houston. But we've also seen attacks, threats, protests, escalation of things in Los Angeles, in New York, Chicago, New Orleans, in cities around the nation. There has been things intensifying left and right, and they're saying now they're preparing to attack our systems here in the U.S., they believe, and we heard from them yesterday saying that cities, major cities in the U.S., here on our soil, we need to be on the lookout, on high alert and prepared, and right now they're saying that there is preparation right now watching our systems. Let me know your thoughts in the.
Okay, so I'm hoping that you all got that. Also, I want to show you another part of it that he spoke about. You all, I'm praying that everybody's just prepared for this. I know it's not something that we all want to think about is going to happen. And I don't want everyone to have a false sense of security thinking that the U.S. could possibly never be attacked. So that's a false sense of security. You know, you can only bully somebody for so long before the person actually strike back. And I'm just going to say that. All right, so listen to this little piece.
Says the U.S. government is now preparing for a potential onslaught of Iranian cyber attacks in retaliation for support for Israel in its conflict with Hamas. And what we've heard in the past 72 hours, the past 3 days, is Israel has come out. Israel's leader and also Benjamin Netanyahu and other officials are saying, prepare for a long war. They're saying this is going to stretch out for quite some time, that they will go through, and they said, we will end Hamas. They said, it's not if, it's when. They said, we will stick around until they are completely wiped out. They said that they are not going to cease fire on Gaza. They will continue on until they have ended Hamas.
Sad part about that, you all, is that the people in Hamas, I mean, Gaza, they were there first. And if you actually look at the history of how, gosh, y'all got to look at this history. You know what? I'm not going to say too much stuff is because I really did not want to get into being the political narrator or constant creator. Y'all, you just got to look at this history. It's not what you all think. They're trying to make it seem like this country is so innocent, and Hamas is the victim in this, as far as I am concerned, or Palestine is the victim in this, as far as I'm concerned. So you all look at the history of it, and remember, Israel, the country Israel, was created like in 1940, either 43 or 48, somewhere around there. I know it was the month of May. They were created. So they are not the Israel of the Bible. Know that. They're not the Israel of the Bible. Remember, when God talks about Israel, he's talking about his people. His people was called Israel. Okay? His people was called Israel. This information is out there, you all. It's not what you think. Please be prepared because it's going to come to the U.S.
Christy Kylo 323, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. I hope the information is helpful for you guys. Now, in addition to that, we have heard Iran warn the United States that as long as this continues, that if this goes on, that they will not hold back from, they said their fire, that the United States will not be spared from the fire that Iran will unleash. And there are talks about this happening on U.S. soil. And Iran had also said that when they made this threat, it was in the UN here in the United States, in New York, on U.S. soil. Technically, it's on the UN, which is United Nations soil, but it was here on our continent, in our nation, where they made this threat boldly before us. And Biden said that they will strike back if Iran attacks us, and we have been striking back. And in addition to that, we've also heard that that we will stand by Israel's side. And as other nations are beginning to declare war, as we saw yesterday with Yemen against Israel, now it's the U.S. and Israel against several other nations, it seems, and terrorist groups. And because we back Israel, now these groups are also threatening to attack the United States. And as we saw, if you missed that video yesterday, you're going to want to check it out. The FBI said that there have been tons of heightened terrorist attacks, and we are at extreme risk right now. And now they're preparing for these cyber attacks against our systems. Now,
okay. So you need to take that. I mean, you know how I've heard people say, chew the meat, eat the meat, spit out the bone. You take what information you want to take out of that. I'm going to play the FBI director warns about the Israel-Hamas attack. Let me just show you this real quick. It's only going to take a minute.
Al-Qaeda issued its most specific call to attack the United States in the last 5 years. ISIS urged its followers to target Jewish communities in the United States and Europe. Hezbollah has publicly expressed its support for Hamas and threatened to attack U.S. interests in the Middle East. And we've seen an increase in attacks on U.S. military bases overseas carried out by militia groups backed by Iran. What would you tell Americans right now about the threat today as compared to before? This is not a time for panic, but it is a time for vigilance. We shouldn't stop conducting our daily lives, going to schools, houses of worship, and so forth. But we should be vigilant. You often hear the expression, if you see something, say something. That's never been more true than now. Al-Qaeda issued its...
Okay, you all. So yeah, that's the FBI warning that came out, and that came out around the 23rd. No, excuse me, the 31st of October, somewhere around there, which was just this week. For me, it was just this week. The day before, I mean, it was Halloween, what they call the pagan holiday, Halloween. But yeah, y'all, you got to get prepared for this. Are you ready? Are you ready to move if you got to move? Like I said, you don't have to come to Africa, but I'm telling you, at one point or other, you're going to want to get the heck up on out of the U.S. So are you prepared? Do you have your passports ready? Here's another one. I love this gentleman. I just want to kind of show you all a little bit of this as well. I love this gentleman. We're going to get past this.
The media repeated this to those watching in order to emotionally grab them in. And even though, ironically, at that same time, I was making content explaining.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me just get them started here. Okay, here we go. Let's try.
Change is upon us. And it is important that you live with this expectation so that when things change, you are not caught off guard or blindsided as the rest of the world will be. The masses are clearly asleep. And the saddest thing is that they see these agendas. They see war brewing, but they live in some sort of blind optimism that makes them feel as if things will get sorted out and problems will not come to affect them. This is definitely the mindset of those living in Babylon today who believe that no problems will ever come to them. But they are just living in the strong delusion. You must not. It is important that those of us preparing for Yah's kingdom do not live in that same ignorance, caught in the strong delusion. Please know that war and change is upon us. And today we're going to discuss it so that none of you are asleep to what is happening. Let's begin. Now, I want to make something clear. I said this in the last video, and I want to make sure it's clear. It's important that you understand the difference between the truth and narratives. Much of what we hear on the news is very far from the truth. It's important that you do not look at what is being reported or said in the mainstream as being the truth, because this is how you can be drawn in emotionally to these agendas. I do not believe that what is going on has anything to do with the truth. Much of it is all a narrative, a storyline used to herd people to the destination that this world is leading everyone. It's a storyline, and depending on where you are in the world, your narrative may be different because the main narrative is about division, so later the beast can bring the world together. For instance, the narrative that we hear in the West here is very much different probably than what you hear in Russia or China. It depends on where you are. The world is completely separated so that the beast can bring us together. I say this to explain that just because I am reporting the news does not mean that I believe the news. Like if I mention nuclear bombs, it does not mean that I believe in this weapon or technology. It does not matter whether it's real or it is not real. It's the narrative that they are using. And it's important to understand how that narrative and storyline will be used against us. Another example, during the pandemic, I did not and still do not believe in the story that they gave us.
Okay, guys, so I'm going to put this video in the details so that way you can actually go through the video. This gentleman right here, Truth Unedited and truthunedited.com, I love them. Let me tell you all, he has done his research. He has good details and what is going on with this particular event. You got to get yourself prepared. I just wanted to just show you all. I just want to do a quick video just to show you all what is going on. I'm praying that you all got your passport and everything ready. That's all this is. Just y'all, you got to get prepared. This is coming. This is coming. You have to be ready, y'all. This is coming. Okay, this is coming. Whew. I'm praying that you all are ready. I'm praying. Okay, you all. Fatima out.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button so that way you could be notified of our upcoming videos.